Ladies and gentlemen, it's once again time for the 10 bucks box view, providing you with projects I've not been begging for but want to give you a peek on them. You can find all projects in the video descriptions in case you're just here for a specific one or want to skip onwards. Today's first project on our to-do list is an upcoming comic called Otaku no Yen Book 2 We're Internet Famous. If you already stumble over those titles, probably this project is going to be nothing for you. Okay, let's put it other way. If you're not familiar with the anime genre, this project is going to be absolutely nothing for you, because this comic is a comedy style but full of references to that specific type of media. So, what are they going to do? They have, I guess several weeks ago, they launched their first book with all the kind of comics they have done on the internet. This comic is free to read, just see a link in the description to get further information. And they want to now launch their second book. It's going to be about 140 pages strong and will include also a lot of extras. And I, for myself, have to say, I like the art style. I mean, come on, it's anime-ish. I'm also a fan of that. But also, it has the specific kind of comedy I do like. And especially if you are familiar with the animes, they make references to it, it's even more fun for you, because you see, yeah, right, that was back that time. As I said, they are looking for no, I didn't say that before, but hell, let's go. They are looking for $7,000 US, have so far rose 1,316, and have 33 days to go. To put it simple, if they don't hit the 7,000 mark, there won't be any book 2 at all, and that would make a bit sad. If you need any reason to actually bake for this project, well, you get the access to Ralph as well as have something physical. And I'm really the type of person who still thinks I want to have something physical. I do like, let's say, digital distribution facilities, but it's still even better to have something you can touch. And that's it for Otaku no Yen Book 2, We're Internet Famous. So let's get going with our next project. That would be Tales of Illyria, a video game project, and to be specific, an RPG. With his very own game engine, to bring up the best point as it is. It's everything hand-drawn. It's not one of those basically RPG Maker-based games I've promoted in my videos before. No, it really has its own unique game engine. Everything is hand-drawn. But as you see, the animations may or may not need some polish. Also, other stuff I really love about Tales of Illyria is the whole world system. In fact, there are 6 kingdoms and they are all in a civil war. And you are now getting there you can get a party and you basically have to save the world. But it's really up to you how you're going to save this world. What it actually tries is to connect Game of Thrones element with elements you found in Lord of the Rings and other kind of that huge fantasy Middle Earth was a part of Lord of the Rings, elements. And also what really is unique to Tales of Illyria is the whole travel system. So while you're traveling through the world, you will actually be seeing you traveling. It's just a screen where the guys walk around, but during that time, all the time, events can happen. So you can be some bandits could attack you, you could find treasure, you can find a dungeon, whatever. It really makes things interesting. Also, the whole world is really active. It has several seasons, several in total 4, the common we know, and during specific type of seasons, other enemies will appear or will not. Also, the hunger and thirst system within the game will be affected by the seasons. So yes, while you're traveling, you have to look that you not just die due to dehydration or starvation by any stretch of imagination. Sorry. Also, another interesting part of Tales of Illyria is something what you already know out of more modern games. It has a morality karma system within the game, and also will later then be affected by the reputation you gain. So you can really be a badass guy or a shiny bright knight of all good and evils. Things what do concern me is the battle system. As for what it looks, I'm not talking about the so far a little bit bad animations. I mean, you can polish that one. It really is, you basically just have 2 lines within it. Okay, you have a front line and a back line. If the guy in the front line dies, it will be swapped by the guy in the back line. And if all your mates are dead, well, basically it's game over. Well, that's basically a good idea. The problem is, it does look very passive as it is. Your function within the battle is merely those of a manager. So you basically can tell, okay, you should use magic, and he's going to use it. You also can say, okay, your favorite magic is to use a fireball, and then he's going to use that. But maybe I just don't get it, but it really looks that passive. It does not mean it has to be bad. But it really depends on how many battles you will have to fight. If it's just over and over 100 of battles and you're just basically doomed to be that passive, a lot of interest would flow away. Also, another nasty thing, it's just something small, but it really concerns me, is Chess of Illyria plans to be accessible for all languages, and to actually do that, so to future German, French, Italian, whatever, they are going to use Google Translation as a kind of a game feature. I'm not sure, but Google Translation is awful. I mean, I do speak 2 languages. I do speak German as my native language, and also do speak English, as you may have figured out by the way, and the translation is awful. Come on, even though English and German do have a lot of comparisons, it's still what Google sometimes translates. Oh, God's sake, do not promote this as a feature. This is going to end badly for you. Promising. But who are those guys anyway? It's so the game company is called Little Killers, and they have been already working for, I guess, 2 years, did they say, on this project? And it's, you see it. I mean, they have created several character spirits. They are all animated. Still, animation needs some polish, as I already mentioned. And really, it seems great. I mean, the weapons, the items you're going to use, they have specific weaknesses or strengths, so you actually have to consider this. Also, if you then later set together your party members, what kind of types do you need? So damage dealer, tank, archery, stuff like that. Really looking forward to it. And to actually fund this project, they are looking for $23,000 have so far rose 1,143, and it's only 17 days to go. I'm a little bit late. God's sake. And what basically does mean if this project is not going to be funded, well, it will take several years more. I say for 2 years have they been working on it. And if they could gather the money, they could finish it really fast. For what this money will probably be used? For animations. Well, this is probably one of the most expensive stuff you could think of. Animations cost so much money to create. Many hours you need to do some kind of stuff like that. The rest, as I could say, is... Actually, they say it's a real-time order-based combat. I've not figured it out yet so far. It's not shown that good. So it might be really more with the managing and passive system I've mentioned before. Should just take that not too serious. Which would be my... Oh, God, I can't talk today. Okay, let it try again slowly. What does concern me is, well, what does that mean? In fact, there we go. If they can't raise the money, it will take probably again a few years before this game is going to be launched. And it will be remakes, because this is something unique. It really is unique. It really deserves the subtitle of a unique RPG as far as I've seen on Kickstarter.com. It also has launched its on Steam Green Light. If you have not heard of that yet, it's a new feature what has been announced yesterday by Steam, but basically they launched, where you can upvote your games you want to see on Steam. Really good thing. Really good idea, really good thing. I'm probably going to make a second video about it. And as it is, that's it for now for Tales of Illyria. Really want to see that game coming. So let's get on. Next project on today's list, if you haven't heard of this one before, you shall be doomed. It's called Planetary Annihilation. What kind of a word? A new upcoming real-time strategy game. What does it make others? What does it make better than other RTS, you might ask? Well, obviously, normally RTS tend to be to play on one wall, and there you build your stuff, fight your enemies, and all kind of that stuff. Basically, what Planetary Annihilation does is it expands it to a whole universe. Okay, now you could come up. Why would I play that? I mean, it's going to be anything else than a space simulation, isn't it? It is completely. Normally in a space simulation game, you just basically build up your fleets and then you colonize new planets, but you don't actually see what you're doing on the planet. And that's the point of it. In Planetary Annihilation, you will have to colonize every planet by yourself and then have to build buildings on it. And then you have to defend those planets on the ground. It really sounds amazing as for a fact as it is. I mean, besides of the fact that you not only be restricted on one planet, you can colonize a whole solar system. It also means that, I mean, coming at something completely new. I couldn't, by any stretch of an imagination, has there been any other game who goes that way? I don't think so. I guess there was Total Annihilation, but that's the most forward I can think of it. Anyway, and they actually can do it. I mean, they have a great team behind it. They have really guys who are used to the game industry. They got guys who have produced Demigod or The Elder Scrolls Morrowind, The Battle of Middle-earth, just to name a few. And it is reflected by the project. I mean, they have been looking for $900,000. They are so far at 1,903,345. And so far, 25,551 backers have pledged money for this project. It's amazing. So go for it. And if you need any further information, just check out the project page. I mean, it's already that famous. Don't you have to think really much. So I'm not really telling you my concerns. I mean, it's going to be fun that anyway. And we will see how it's going to work out. So let's go on with the next project. Last video game topic on today's video is Deozoa Legends of Eden, an upcoming monster catching game. Just hell, why not? I do only know one monster catching game, Pokemon, and that's not really one of the best ones I've played. Okay, well, I loved it when I was a child. So what does Deozoa different than Pokemon, if we want to speak of it? Speaking of the basic, what I already like, it has party members. And I'm talking about human party members. Not only monsters, but they will also fight at your side. Which really made me upset back in the Pokemon days. I just have my very own character, and I'm basically me against the world. It also comes to another conclusion that instead of Pokemon, in Deozoa, you fight together with your monsters. It's not like you send your monsters in front of them and they deal with each other. No, you will support them, or the monster will support you. This way around goes also. Which I really think, yeah, that's something that this kind of monster catching genre really needs. Also, but I also have to admit, it comes together with the, well, not really to create a surprise, anime style of design, which I found really good, because it comes of that type of region, and I would expect it to come along this way. Which also has to tell that the battle system is going probably to be really challenging, because you have to count on your abilities as well as the abilities of your monster, pet, friend, whatever. But also it's a really good idea they've already told. As far as it is, the battle system, the battle screen, they have only been featuring chibi characters, and they're going to change that to real 2D pixel spirits, and it is necessary. If I only would find with those chibis, I probably would get bored of rather fast of it. Also, what really is good about Deozoa, it has actually a story. I mean, if I remember back the days when I played Pokemon, my only really story, if you can tell us, it was to become the next best battle Pokemon master, whatever. I don't know what the title exactly was. World champion? Was something like that? I don't know it anymore. Okay, you had some side tracks with what's the name? Rocket Team, I guess was the name. Never mind. Those days are years ago. And I actually would love to play again a monster catching hunting game again. Which brings me now to the bad stuff, and for a fact, the interface in one screen looks awful. This really needs to be an overhaul. For a fact, as it is now, it looks a bit cheap, but hey, there's still a lot of time to change that. Also, I already mentioned, they should change the battle spirits, and they are going to do that, so even better. The biggest complaint I have so far, let's say I've figured out, are the rewards. Well, I can say the low rewards, if you want to put it that way, they're fine, they're really good, I mean, nothing to say there. But, let's say I'm the kind of Kickstarter baker who goes for the high level tier rewards because I really want to support this project as much as I can, and especially this specific project, and not as many as I can. I mean, hello, I normally bake for $500 for this one. I could bake 500 projects with just $1. Would that benefit anybody? Nope. And to be honest, I feel a little bit trolled, a little bit doomed, a little bit. Why would you do that to me? I mean, okay, the high-level rewards are really nice as for the fact as they are. What just pisses me right now off is that the beta tells the rewards are excluded. Come on. I give you $650, you give me all the kind of stuff, you do also invite me to the launch party. Then why do you exclude me from being a beta tester? Come on, that's so mean. That's also one of the biggest reasons why I have not been baking yet for Deozoa. I just feel so trolled about it. Ugh. Why are you so mean to us? Anyway, especially for me, it's a little bit tricky because I tend to give a little first impression of it when the beta is out, if it actually was worth to bake for this project. But hey, anyways, I mean, it's still a lot of time. They are looking for a total of $78,000, have so far rose 10,871 with 230 bakers. And there's still 24 days to go. If you still need another reason to bake for this project, it has monkeys with mustaches. Unfortunately, even it has that, still the rewards are too mean for me to actually bake for this project. But hey, if you are just one who goes for the lower ones, then I just cannot do it and highly recommend to actually go for this. But as for the fact as it is now, I'm not sure if I'm going to bake for it. But hell, still time can change. That's for a fact. Also, well, now, let's miss it. Don't do any reports today, so that's already for it. Corbbox of the 3rd Game Division, over and out.